Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Frivolous Podcast, episode 11. I am your host, Jacob, and I'm super excited to be here. Now, I know some of you guys may be wondering, hey, episode 11 aren't the odd number episodes usually, ones that you have a guest on. And you would be right. They are typically the ones that I have a guest on. Unfortunately, my guest had to cancel this week for personal reasons. I'm not going to get into it because it's not my business to tell. But he really wants to come on, but he just couldn't. And, I'm always going to respect that. I'm never going to force anybody to come on this podcast. It's supposed to be just a fun little side thing that I do. It's not a money maker. It's not like it's a business or anything. So I told him, hey, you know what? We'll reschedule for 2 weeks from now. You'll be on then. We'll get it then. So where it's going to happen, I just said Wirtz, as if I'm from the South. I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Anyways, I'm going to be doing 3 solo episodes in a row. So episode 10 was a solo episode. This will be a solo, and then episode 12. So I'm going to break the format a little bit, but then it'll be back on track for next week and episode 13 as well. I could have tried rushing in a guest for this episode, but I only had a day or two to really try to find somebody. And instead of rushing it, I figured I would just do a solo episode, and then we'll just reset it, in a couple weeks. It's not a big deal. I don't think a lot of people really care. I actually think the episodes with my friends tend to do better, and which is understandable. I'd rather hear me and somebody else talk than just me talk as well. But it is what it is. I do have guests lined up. Don't freak out. I'm going to be running out soon, but I do have ideas for people. So it's not like I've run out of people. I just didn't want to squeeze somebody in and then have it be less, I don't want to say professional, but it would have been more chaotic and less organized. That was what I was looking for. So it's just going to be me for this episode and next. So I'm sorry about that. I do think these will probably be shorter episodes this week and next week just because I wasn't anticipating having to do solo episodes, and I'm only going to run out of so many things to talk about, and I'm recording this actually the day before it's going up. So I'm recording it kind of last minute. I've been super busy though, which I'm going to actually get into right now. So if you follow the TikTok or really any socials, I only have TikTok. I don't know why I'm acting like I only have TikTok for this. I haven't posted on TikTok in a while, and it's not because I've forgotten about it. I just, when I had Chance on, he was the last guest I had on. I didn't have anything I could really put on the TikTok because of the audio issues. And then last week I just decided, and there wasn't a ton that I could put on as well. So I've been MIA basically from the TikTok, and I know it's the worst thing to do because if I want to actually grow a brand, I have to put the brand out there and make the brand known. And I said I'd be uploading twice a week, and I haven't uploaded in probably 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks at least. But that's going to be changing. I've had a very hectic couple of weeks. The end of the school year was really kind of insane for me. I was doing a lot, and I was having to attend a lot of things, so I was very busy. And as much as I wanted to be able to focus on this podcast, the podcast definitely had to take a back seat to my actual life. But school year ended on Friday, so I am, I'm super free right now. I'm free until basically end of August or almost October, early September, which is cool and also a bit daunting because that's a lot of free time between now and then. But like I talked about last episode, that free time is going to equate hopefully to productivity. So my goal for the TikTok going forward is to be posting, honestly, 3 times a week would be really cool. I want to upload like I normally was, Monday or Tuesday, I upload a little clip from the upcoming episode. Sometime on the weekend, I ask you guys about topics and things you want us to discuss. And then I also want to upload once or twice more in the week as well, just something funny, maybe behind the scenes or something from my life or whatever. So I'm kind of working on that. We'll see. Like I said, I have so much more time on my hands. So I have a schedule and a plan in my head for a lot of things. I just started working out already. So I'm going back to the gym 2 days in now, and I'm super sore. I might stream again. I used to stream. If you don't know that about me, I used to stream, and I might do that again. Just not because I expect money or fame. It's fun for me. It's really cool to interact with people that you don't know, and I've had people when I would stream, I had this guy come on. He's from the South somewhere. I don't remember exactly. And he was just talking to me, and like him and I were like so similar. Like, it was like, almost scary. We were about the same age, living with our girls or our partners, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. I don't know what. I think it was just his girlfriend. Um, he was teaching PE at his old school, and I was like, dude, we're like the same person right now. It was so cool. And so it's just really cool the people you meet, and like you can make a really cool community. So I plan on doing that again as well. Not that many people care, but it's a fun thing for me to do. I feel like I'm somewhat of a funny person, and I'm a lot funnier like off the cuff. Like, I'm not like, if you were to tell me, hey, read this script or like write something funny and be funny, I'm not gonna do a great job of actually like making you laugh. But if it's like I'm improving it in the moment, it's like I think of a joke off of something you said, like a one-liner, then the odds of it me being funny are a lot better. I'm not good with like scripted comedy. I'm more just like, and I don't like calling it improv because I'm not like one of those people like, oh, I'd be so good in an improv class, because I think most people who say they'd be good in an improv class would not be good in an improv class, and I'm one of those people. I don't think I would do good in improv. Are you kidding me? But basically like improv comedy where it's like I'm just thinking of stuff on the spot. That's what I'm good at, and that's what I can do kind of on the podcast. Not as much when I'm interviewing somebody. I definitely can, but by myself it's a lot harder. But I can do it when streaming, and it's a lot of fun. I can take comments from the viewers, which I don't get a lot of viewers, but from the viewers that I do get, I can do it based off the game. Like, if the game like throws up something that I can make a joke off of. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't want to just like use this free time to like not do anything. That's not who I am, and that's not something that I like to do. Don't get me wrong, I do like relaxing and doing nothing on some days, and I guarantee you during the school year, that's what I would do on like my weekends. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna do nothing because I've had a busy week. But when I've got nothing else to do, I want to be productive, and I want to be able to like better myself in the summer since I have all this free time. And I'm like, all right, I know that once the school year starts again, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to like, I don't want to say take care of myself, but to pursue these things as much as I can right now. My goal is to like have a healthy balance of being able to do all the things I want to do once the school year starts, since I'll know what my schedule will be like. I'll have an idea of like how, I don't want to say exhausting, but how much energy it takes out of me, and so on and so forth. Because obviously last year was my first year doing it, so I was very confused and not confused, but I didn't know what to expect. So like my gym schedule fell off, and I stopped going to the gym, and then I stopped streaming and gaming as much. So like I'm gonna try to find a way to balance all of that for the next school year, and luckily I've got like the next 3 months to do all that stuff without having to manage the school year into it. So I'm really excited about that, and that's just kind of the little life update. I can't talk today, as you can tell. I kind of gave you one last week, but it feels like there's a lot that's happened to me in the last week since I last recorded, when it really isn't. But I had the last week of school, and it's kind of, I don't want to say emotional, because emotional seems like such a strong word to use, but it really it's like impacted me more than I thought it would, which doesn't mean that it impacted me a lot, but I didn't think I would like be affected by it. But saying goodbye is really difficult sometimes, depending on the people, depending on the situation, of course. And I've never been good at goodbyes. I've never been good with change or anything like that. That's, anxiety coming in, and OCD. Okay, I'm sorry if there was weird cuts there, but my cat was acting up, so I had to deal with that. What I'm trying to say is goodbyes have never been easy for me specifically, because I'm not good with change. I'm not good with, things that I can't control. And obviously when it comes to goodbye, you don't know when the next time you're going to see somebody is necessarily. And, it's weird because I was so looking forward to the end of the school year. I was like, with 3 weeks left, I was like, man, 3 more weeks of this. Come on. Like, gonna get here faster. And then when it actually came, I was actually a bit sad, because like, I'm gonna miss seeing these people that I would see literally 5 days a week, and they would make my day and make me laugh, and I would enjoy goofing off and hanging out with them. It's like, all right, well, now I gotta go 2.5 months without seeing them, and some of them aren't even gonna come back to the school next year because, they're gonna go to a different high school, or they graduated high school, or they don't want to go. They're going to a different school now or whatever. So like, that's even more sad. It's like, I wish I enjoyed and appreciated the moment I was in more, because now I'm looking back on it and I'm going to miss it. And I wish I just enjoyed it more, because next year is going to be different. And it might not be it might be better, it might be worse, who knows, but it's going to be different, and it's not going to be what this year was. And this was my first year doing it, of course, teaching. And so it's just a bit sad. Andy Bernard from The Office, he has a quote, I think it's in the final episode of the show. He says, I wish there was a way to know you were in the good days before you already left them. It's along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but and I kind of felt that way. I was like, next school year might be great, and it might even surpass this school year that I just had, but it's going to be different. And I really thoroughly enjoyed this school year and the friendships and relationships that I've formed there. But it's crazy to think about the impact that people can have on you, people that you don't even necessarily expect to have an impact on you. Like, I don't expect the fact that I never would have expected that kids would have impacted me the way that they have. Like, they're also very important to me, and like I genuinely will miss them over the summer. And for those who don't come back, I'm going to miss them. Not every kid, of course. There's always a couple ones that are a little difficult, but most of the kids have had a really strong impact on me, and they're the reason I'm going back. I'm not going back for the pay, that's for sure. I'm not going back because it's it's like my favorite thing in the world. I'm going back because I want to be able to form these bonds with the kids and be a good role model, good influence, and help steer them along the right path, whatever it is that they need. So it's just crazy, man. I don't want to say blessed. I'm grateful to be in the situation that I'm in and to impact, these kids' lives. But, really they impact me more, just as much, if not more, than I impact them, like, for sure. And I'm forever a different person because of working at a school and like forming these relationships. I mean, there's a bunch of kids that I feel like, they're my own kid, basically, you know what I mean? Like, that I would do anything for. Or some of the older kids, they feel like a younger sibling to me because I'm not that old. They like to make me feel like I'm very old, but I'm not that old. But it's crazy, like the impact. Like, I would do anything if they were, struggling with anything. I'd be like, hey, talk to me. I will help you. I'll be your therapist. Whatever the heck you need, like, I will help you do it. You need to hide a body. I'll help you. Okay, I know a spot. Okay, maybe not that last one, but it depends on the person. I don't know. That's a tangent, but my point was, goodbyes typically get so hyped up, and at least in your head, like, all right, it's the last time I'm ever gonna see this person. Make sure it's a good goodbye, whatever. But it's like, typically, and I guess it's how it is with just life in general. You build up these moments, and like, all right, this is gonna be my last day of school here, or my graduation, or this will be the last time I see this person, or whatever. And then, like, you build it up and you build it up and you build it up, and then it turns out to not be quite what you thought it was going to be. And I'm not necessarily saying that it is a bad thing, but it's definitely not like what you expect most of the time. And I have experienced that in the past few weeks, or past like week or so, since I've had to say goodbye to people who are moving on to other things in life and people that I care about. And I was always like, all right, dude, this is it. But then it's like, all right, it's more just like, all right, goodbye, see you later type of thing. Talk to you, like, you see you around, I'll talk to you later type of thing. It's never like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, and I tend to like play things up. I do that with a lot of things, not just goodbyes, but I tend to play things up like, oh man, this is it. But I think life always finds a way to, when you say goodbye to somebody, it's not necessarily always goodbye. I think things have a way of playing out, and it's frustrating for me because I like to know the plan. I like to have an idea. I like to be as much in control as I possibly can, and especially when it's stuff that doesn't pertain to me specifically, it's hard for me to like take a back seat and just be like, all right, I gotta let it play out. I gotta let life happen. But that's just how it is. And when I'm a dad, that's gonna bug the crap out of me. When I have like a 13-year-old kid or whatever, or like a teenager, and they're struggling with stuff, and I want to just like give them the keys to life and be like, all right, this is what you got to do. You got to do this, that. I'm gonna have to just be like, hey, I gotta take a back seat and I gotta let things play out, because as much as I think I've got it all figured out and I did things this way, it's not necessarily gonna work the same way for my kid or for this person. So that's just how life is, especially with generational differences as well. Everybody grows up in a different way and is raised differently, but that's a whole different topic for a different day. Kind of weird tangents. I kind of been all over the place on this, but it's just these have been my thoughts. I'm not even like 3 days into my summer break, and these were my thoughts about it. So, but that being said, I am excited to have the break. I'm not trying to be like ungrateful for it because I know most jobs do not get that kind of a break, and I'm very grateful that I do. So, okay, we talked about that. There's something I'm gonna briefly talk about this, like very, very briefly. It's just gonna be a small excerpt. I was watching like a TikTok compilation with my fiance yesterday, literally last night, and there's this TikTok and it said, "You do realize that your bones are wet? Like right now, your bones are wet," and that really, really messed me up. And since I had to see it, I want you all to think about that. I want you all to think about that right now, that your bones are wet. I don't know why that makes my arms hurt, and I don't know why, but like it's I'm so uncomfortable thinking about it, and I don't know I don't know why, and I don't have anything more to say on it really. Like I don't have like some deep like psychological like reasoning behind it, but it just creeps me out so much, and I really don't like it. And I wanted to share that with you guys because the fact that somebody thought of that is insane. They must have been high or in the shower or both when they thought of it. And second of all, like the fact that I had to see it means that you guys need to see it or hear it as well. So there's that for you. I hope, you can still focus on the podcast a little bit because my brain was turning and probably will be turning for the rest of this episode or rest of this day thinking about it. And life's never going to be the same because of it. So shout out to that person. I don't know who it was. I don't have I would give them credit if I knew, but shout out to them for just like ruining how I view literally everything in life. So that's awesome. All right. So we're going to switch gears here real quick. Like I said, that was going to be a small excerpt, and this will probably be short too. And it was something I was thinking of, and I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. I don't think it will be. I mean, maybe it's like one or two people. They'll be like, what the heck? But I'm just not a fan of bumper stickers, dude. I'm really not a fan of them. And if you have bumper stickers, I'm not going to hate you, but I just was driving the other day and I was just like, man, this isn't it. Like, what are we doing? I just, like, especially the cars that have literally like 86 on the back. And I'm like, dude, like pick 3 and then be done. There's no reason you should have just like your entire back, like your trunk or whatever just should be covered in stickers. Like that's weird to me. Okay. I'm definitely not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of bumper stickers really in general, but I'm definitely not a fan of just covering your car with them. Because if I see that when I'm driving, I'm just like, oh, this person is like the biggest conspiracy theorist or just insane, or you know what I mean? They like wear tinfoil hats. And so that's my opinion on it. And just to be fair, before people start freaking out and being like, oh my gosh, but I have bumper sticker and it's really, I do think that some stickers on your car can be cool and they can actually be, I don't want to say stylish, but they can be like a good accessory. There we go. Accessory to your car. But hey, I don't really care if your child is an honor student at a local middle school. Nobody cares. I don't really care, if about who rescued who when it comes to your dog or your pets, okay? Like, it's great that you rescued pets. It's great that your kid's an honor student. But I personally don't care. And being an honor student never mind. I'm not gonna go there. That's gonna trigger some people. Anyways, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, don't put like Bernie Sanders 2020. Dude, you know what I hate too? This is not even political, but it has to do with politics. I hate when I see old like political bumper stickers. Oh my god. Like I'll see like Obama Biden 2012, was that 2012, and it's like, "Hey guys, that's over. Like they won 10 years ago and they served 2 terms. So like what are we doing?" Like it makes me so mad. Or when I see like Bernie Sanders 2020 or Bernie Sanders 2016, I'm like, or like Clinton 2016, I'm like, guys, we're past this already. You know what I mean? We're past that. Even if I see like Trump, Pence, and they won, obviously, for those of you who don't know, like I'm still like, hey guys, they won. They won in 2016. We've moved on from that. Why like I don't want to see your crusty old bumper sticker representing well, I'm surprised I haven't seen like a Jeb Bush one. Like it's so funny to me just like how people just will like hold on to the old stuff. I'm like, why do you still have it after the election? Like, why do you still have it after they won? Or it's just like, why do you have it 10 years later? Like it blows my mind, and it's just so stupid to me. It's so stupid. First of all, like never put stuff like that on your bumper sticker. Who cares? I don't care if the car in front of me is Republican, Democrat, Christian, non-Christian, Muslim, black, white, gay, straight, trans, non-binary. I don't care, okay? As long as you're driving the speed limit or a little bit above the speed limit. Let's be honest. We all like to drive a slightly above the speed limit. So like maybe like 40 and a 35, Anyways, and you're not putting me or anybody else in danger. I don't really care, okay? But like I don't love the bumper stickers that just like talk about your political or your religious affiliation or anything like that. I'm just like, all right, cool, but why? Like do they think like when they're at a gas station, somebody's like, oh dude, you have Proverbs 12:14 on there? Oh my gosh, I have that tattooed on my left ass cheek. Like, I don't think that's gonna be what's happening here. So I don't know, maybe I'm just coming off like a jerk. Like, I have nothing against religious people, or I do have a little bit against political people, but I don't think against people who like believe in religion or anything like that. But like I'm somewhat religious myself, just not like I'm not just not a churchgoer, but I don't know. I'm just like, what is this? Like, I just feel like let's show off other parts of us. You know what I mean? Like, you being a Christian or a Muslim or whatever is not your personality. Like, tell them, like, put something on there that's going to talk about you. If you're going to put anything on there, I'm not a huge advocate for putting anything on there. But put stuff that you like on there. Like, and I know, but do they like memory verses, Jacob? I don't mean like that. Put like my dad on his old car, which he just sold his car, but his other old car, he had like a couple. They weren't bumper stickers; they were just like stickers that were on his not rear view mirror, his back windshield. I almost said rear view mirror. His back windshield, and I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were like I think like my dad loves turtles, like they're his favorite animal, and like so he had like a turtle on one of his like windows and whatnot, which I'm fine with that. Put something that you like and show off, like, hey, I'm a fan of turtles, or I'm a fan of this movie or whatever. Like that's cool, because then it tells me a little bit about you. And especially if you can get it to like match the theme of your car, like with my dad's, it all kind of like flowed together really well. And I was like, all right, this is really cool. Like this like fits your car, and it doesn't stand out in a weird way. Like it's a good accessory. It accentuates it. But like I don't know. Just I feel like you can actually like make it like if I were to see a bumper sticker of like, I mean, this is gonna be stereotypical, but like Baby Yoda. I bet, oh, this person likes Star Wars / The Mandalorian. Like, that's cool. That's cool. That tells me a little bit about you in a cool way. Like, that's a fun little thing. As opposed to, like, being like, oh, this person voted for Trump, or this person voted for Biden, or this person, worships Allah, or this person worships one God, or, you know what I mean? Just like, all right. Just don't put it all out there. There's some things that not everybody needs to know. But to be fair, I also feel like if you're one of those people who's going to be putting your religious and or political beliefs on your car, you're probably putting that on Facebook. And Facebook is already a cesspool of dumb information anyways. So, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. By the way, I took a class on social. Actually, I had to say something else before I talk about social media, because I'll go on a tangent and I'm going to lose what I'm thinking of. I have a very quick story about bumper stickers. I don't know how you guys feel about like the bumper stickers that show off like the family. So it's like there's like stick figures, or it's like sometimes they'll do like characters from a show or a movie, but it'll be like stick figures. I'm like, all right, that's the dad, this is the mom. And then it has like little stick figures for like the kids, and it'll have like a dog picture of like little, you know what I mean? You've seen the decals, I'm sure. You know what I'm talking about. There was this one. I was at a bowling alley with my friend. Actually, funny enough, we took a bowling class at our community college. It was like 1 credit. We were like, hey, you know what? We wanted to take a class together. We wanted to make it easy, and we both like bowling. We're like, hey, we could get better at bowling, and it'd be fun. We get to hang out, and we did. Easiest class ever. The professor only, I should say, quote unquote professor. The teacher only showed up like probably like 6 of the 20 classes, if that. I think 6 is being generous, but she rarely ever showed up, and we just like taught ourselves. Showed up for like first couple weeks, taught us form, and then like dipped. And I was like, all right, cool. She was just going back to gamble on Keno. But we were there one time, and we were leaving, and we were talking outside the bowling alley, and there was this van, and I'm not even joking you. this van had at least 20, not, I don't even, I think 20's being like too low of a number. Like at least 20 stick figures next to it. It was like the mom, the dad, and then it had like, I swear, like 20 to 40 just other stick figures that like to like show that that's how many like kids they have, or I'm assuming, or whatever. And I was like, yo, what are we doing here? And I don't know if it was like satirical, like it was to make fun of those things, or if like this dude just has a lot of kids or what. But I was like, man, this guy just be getting around, I guess, or if like maybe he has multiple wives. I don't know. But like actually thinking about the logistics of it now, like how is that possible? Maybe it wasn't 20. Maybe it was still like, maybe it was like 10 to 12 or 10 to 15. But that's still a lot of kids. That's still a lot of kids. And I don't, like I said, I don't remember the number. I'm going to assume it's anywhere from 10 to 30. And I think 30 is being a bit like asinine, but like we'll put it there just in case. I should have asked my friend about this beforehand, but I didn't even think about this story until now. But I was like, dude, that guy couldn't even pull out of a driveway. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's just pumping out kids. This guy just is horrible at it. It's just like, oh my God. Anyways, I had to share that story because I'm not a huge fan of the little family decals anyways, but that one I think is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was like, man. And I remember my friend made that joke about the driveway, and I was like, oh, that's good. Anyways, I took a class. I'm going to go back to social media because I talked about it very briefly. I took a class in college about social media, and it was about kind of like social media in the everyday life, because obviously it's become a part of our everyday lives very, I don't want to say very recently, but within the past like 8 years, I would say it's been super popular. Because 10 years ago, I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I wasn't, Facebook was really prominent 10 years ago, but that's about it. I mean, social media has never been what it is now. I mean, Twitter's Twitter. I don't really know what to say about it. I can't say anything bad or they'll cancel me. Facebook is like where, the weird people in your family will post their like political beliefs and whatnot, and you're like, oh, that's why I don't see you at family reunions or anything, or that's why you're not invited to Thanksgiving. That's right, I forgot about that. You get like the conspiracy theorists and those weird people like that, and like the minion memes. What else is there? Instagram, a bunch of people just photoshopping and only showing you the actual good parts of their lives when realistically they're actually miserable the rest of the time. Snapchat. I don't know if I consider Snapchat social media. I know that they have stories on Snapchat, but I really feel like Snapchat's just a communication tool. It's a way for people to talk to each other. So I don't really consider that social media. I know it probably technically falls under the form of social media, but like you're not going on Snapchat typically to post. You're typically going on there to talk to somebody. So it's a little bit different to me. But again, could be wrong. TikTok. It's actually TikTok. I was a huge hater on beforehand, because of the company itself. I didn't like what it was doing with people's information and whatnot. But I got it last year. I want to say last year, and dude, it's so funny. I'm a huge fan of it. Like, it's the best. There's so many, not the best, but like definitely some really funny moments on there, and it's awesome. My point being is just social media has become such a like integral part of most people's lives, unfortunately. And even me, who I use social media very like on the daily. I'm not like as much as most people my age probably, but I do use it a decent amount. And I'm just so not a fan. Like, there was a point in time where I was a fan of social media, and now I'm just like, man, it's so tempting to just delete all of them. But there's reasons I haven't deleted all of my social media. I do like to keep up, like Instagram, for example. I like to see what my friends are up to, and I like to see like, all right, oh, this person went to Mexico this week, and that's cool. You know what I mean? I do like to see what people are up to. Facebook, I really just have for like birthdays, and I guess the occasional. I do have some friends who like will post funny stuff, so shout out to them. Twitter is the one I've actually like really considered like getting rid of for good, because the platform Twitter is so bad now. And first of all, the whole Elon Musk like sale of it, which isn't even going through anymore, it was ridiculous. But like the Twitter itself, with the users on Twitter are just so toxic, just for the sake of being toxic and being the politically correct police, when in reality is they're just as big of like bigots or racists, or maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't say like that. Maybe they're not bigots or racist, but they've had their fair share of issues in the past. But they're gonna like white knight and like put the blame on somebody else because this person's famous and or whatever. Uh, like that, my biggest like beef, I guess you could say, my gripe with Twitter is their inability to acknowledge change and to acknowledge second chances. You know, I totally am all for holding people accountable, and if they had a tweet 10 years ago saying, you know, using the gay slur, the F word, or if they, you know, said something, you know, racist about Asian people or black people or whatever it is, I'm totally all for calling people out and holding them accountable 100%. And I think, you know, they should be called out. But this notion of canceling them and being like, all right, your career's over, you're ruined for something that you said 8+ years ago, it just really makes me mad because it's like you're almost like acknowledging that these people have no, we can't change as a human. Like, we can't change as people. Like, oh, well, once you feel that way, you've always felt that way. I'm like, that's not true. Because when you were 5 years old, you thought you were going to be an astronaut one day, and now you work at Chase Bank. You know what I mean? Like, your ideas change. When I was 5, I believed in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. I can acknowledge that those aren't real now. You know what I mean? Like, your beliefs change, and I know that's like those are very different things. Those are very like innocent things compared to, you know, using a slur or whatever. But sometimes people are ignorant or naive, or they were raised in a hateful house or a hateful environment, and so they only knew how to be hateful. But then, you know, they kind of grew up and they met more people. Maybe they met somebody who was part of the LGBTQ community, or they met an African American or an Asian person. They like really got educated on the stuff and were like, man, I was so wrong about this group of people or whatever, and I was so prejudiced and, you know, bigoted, and I'm sorry about it. But like saying that they won't change is just so ridiculous. And there's actually, and I don't remember his name. I'm gonna throw a couple names out there because it's one of these few. A former basketball player. It's either Tim Hardaway Sr. or Glenn Rice or something like that. It's somebody along those lines. And they used to be or like Mitch Richmond. I don't know. Anyways, you could Google it, but they used to be like bigoted towards the gay community. And like they used like I don't remember exactly what they said, but they said some pretty like bad things to the community. And this was like a long time ago. This was before like I think I was even born, or like before I was even old enough to be watching sports. And I remember at the time, well, not at the time, I don't know why I said it like that, but I've read about it since then, and like he would say all this stuff like basically like I don't want to be near somebody who's gay or whatever. Again, I'm paraphrasing. If you really want to like get the actual story, you should look it up. But he's done like a complete 180, and like he's like very supportive of the community now, and like I want to say he goes to like, you know, pride rallies or pride parades or whatever, but I don't know about that for sure. But like very like supportive and like giving back to that community. And it's like he obviously didn't used to be that way. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's quotes, and you can probably find actual quotes and stuff of him saying some pretty messed up things, but he wasn't educated on it. His point of view changed. He got educated on it. I'm assuming he talked to a lot of people about it, and now he's not that person anymore. But it's like if he, because he's an older player, like he's not old, but he's an older player, like before social media. If he had been around during the social media era, he'd be canceled, and you know he would have never had a chance to prove himself and prove that he can change and like to actually get educated and to change for the good. And so that's just something that bugs me. I think we need to as a society, especially on Twitter primarily. It's like like I said, hold them accountable for sure, and be like, hey, prove to us that you can change. But let's not cancel somebody. You know, let's give them a chance to change for something that they did 8 years ago. And also, if they did it 8 years ago and they're not doing it now, maybe they already did change. You know, you just never really know. It just bugs me. Everybody's guilty until proven innocent on the internet and on social media. When it's in the court of law, it's the opposite. It's innocent until proven guilty. And so I don't know. That's just always bugged me because I'm a firm believer that people can change and people can, you know, become educated, and because on a topic that they were once ignorant on and a bit naive on, they can become more educated and more knowledgeable on it and be like, oh wow, I was completely wrong, and I'm sorry for, you know, viewing things the way I viewed it, but this is who I am now. I'm not that person anymore. But it's like, it's just so annoying to me that it's like, okay, so we're just going to hold them accountable for this stuff without letting them prove like who they really are, or, you know. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm a huge hater of Twitter. I think Twitter's the worst of social media, which is saying something because Facebook's pretty bad too. But that's That's just how I feel. Facebook's only bad because of I don't know. Facebook's bad for a myriad of different reasons, but Twitter's just bad because everybody thinks they're right on there, and that's what's annoying. Facebook, it's just like people sharing their opinions and not really caring what anybody else says. Twitter, it's like if your opinion doesn't match my opinion, then that's an issue type of thing. So I kind of went on a weird tangents there. I know I actually wasn't even planning on talking about that, but here we are. So that's gonna actually lead us right into rank up or ranked up. Am I saying rank? I'm saying it's not ED. It's rank up. I don't know why I added an ED there. And this one's a bit weird. I actually thought of this one yesterday, and I think it's gonna be good. So the website that I use is called Bracket Fights, and I was scrolling through stuff on there. I actually had an idea for what I was gonna do with my guest, but I'm gonna save that one until he comes on in a couple weeks. So I won't do it yet, and I won't spoil what it's gonna be. So I was thinking. I was like, man, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. And then I saw this one, and the title of this one is called. Hold on, I gotta scroll up and find it. The title of this one is called Most Attractive Famous Women Bracket Fight. And I know what you're thinking, like, wow, that's you're really gonna do that? Yes and no. So I was thinking, because I would see those templates, and I'm like, dude, this is like just really stupid. Like, I don't think we should be comparing people's looks and be like, oh, they're like, who's the prettiest or who's the most attractive, like, female or male celebrity? Like, who really cares, honestly? If you're a celebrity, for the most part, if you're a celebrity, male or female, you're probably like gorgeous. Okay, like, let's be honest. But I thought of something that would be more fun to do. So we're gonna use the same bracket that this person made, but instead of base it off of who's most attractive, we're gonna do it based on who I think would win in hand-to-hand combat. Who I think would win in a fight versus each other, in a 1v1 fight versus each other. Who I think would win. That sounds more fun. Like, basically like a famous woman battle royale. And I'll do this with men too, not in this episode, but in future episode. I'll do this with male celebrities. But I thought that would be a great idea. So that's what we're going to do. One disclaimer, though. First of all, I didn't make this bracket, so I don't know who everybody is on it. So if I don't know who they are, I'm going to just default to the person I do know, and they would win automatically. And if I don't know who either of them are, then I'm going to go based off of what the photo is. They don't have names on the photos, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of actors and actresses, but I can sometimes forget their names a little bit. I'm going to do my absolute best to give you an idea of who they are, at least. If I don't remember the name, I'm going to give you a really good idea. But bear with me because I don't know everybody, and this is a pretty big list, I think. So without further ado, we're going to be doing the famous woman battle royale is what we're going to call it. So first matchup we have is Natalie Portman. You've seen her in Star Wars. You've seen her in, Thor. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head. Black Swan, I think she was in. Versus Brie Larson. So we got two Marvel people here. I'm gonna go Brie Larson. I think Brie Larson would win in a fight. If we're being honest, I don't really know what my reasoning for that is, but I just feel like Brie would kind of take it a little bit. She played Captain Marvel. I feel like she's got to know at least one or two moves, right? Emma Stone versus Taylor Swift. Emma Stone, 10 times out of 10, is going to win because I think Taylor Swift, she's emotionally weak. She's going to be physically weak. I got nothing against Taylor Swift. I really don't. But when you're in your 30s and I don't know if she's in her 30s. I'm assuming she is. Or when you're close to your 30s and you're still writing breakup songs, like, okay, we get it, but like let's find a new thing to write about, okay? Also, let's maybe acknowledge that you're the problem, okay? You're not the problem maybe all the time, but you are the common denominator in all these relationships failing, so let's keep that in mind. Anne Hathaway versus Jessica Alba. Ooh, I don't know. So Anne Hathaway played Catwoman. She was in Princess Diaries. Jessica Alba, you guys know Jessica Alba, and she was also she was a superhero. She played that one. Well, she was on Fantastic Four. I don't remember what her character's name is in Fantastic Four. I think I would. I don't actually know who I'd go with here. This to me is like a 50-50. This seems like a very even match. I think I'm leaning towards Anne Hathaway because of her Catwoman training, if there really even is training. Like, I know it sounds like a silly thing to base some of these off of, like, oh, they were they were in a superhero movie, but you have to at least have seen some of the moves that like your stunt double did, or even yourself did some of the moves. So I feel like you picked it, like they could have picked things up along the way and here and there, more so than like the average Joe or the average Jessica, I guess in this case, would have picked up. Next matchup, Mila Kunis versus Demi Lovato. Wow, that's interesting. I'm going to give the edge to Mila, and I know what you're thinking. Mila's, I think, is smaller than Demi, but Mila's like Ukrainian. I feel like she's just going to be scrappy. You know what I mean? She's going to be scrappy, got that little bit, you get that Ukrainian blood in her. I feel like she would just pull out a fight. I really think so. Might fight a little bit dirty, I don't know. But I feel like she would just, once she like gets to the Ukrainian, she might even be Russian too. Gets that, Ukrainian, that Russian blood pumping through her, that adrenaline going. She's gonna be like. She also has brothers too, or at least a brother. Like at least because that's what I've heard in an interview on a podcast. I feel like she would win because she'd be scrappy. She'd be scrappier than Demi. I think Demi's probably stronger, but I think Mila would be scrappier. Also, Mila has kids, so she would have like that mom strength. Dude, this sucks so bad. I don't know who the woman on the left is. And I wish I did, because the woman on the right is Amber Heard. And my rule was, if I don't know who it is, then the person who I do know automatically goes through. And to be fair, Amber Heard probably can fight pretty well, considering she can beat the crap out of her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. But I will make an exception to my rule here because it's Amber Heard. I'm going to pick the woman I don't know because I don't want Amber Heard winning anything, okay? So Amber Heard, you are not winning that. Aubrey Plaza versus Emma Roberts. Interesting matchup. On paper, I would probably instantly go Aubrey, right? She plays kind of those dark characters, those weird kind of emo-ish characters. Not a lot of emotion in her in when she acts, right? So you're like, all right, she probably has a bit of a dark side, probably knows how to fight, probably has killed somebody. It's kind of that vibe you get from her, right? But Emma Roberts, on the other hand, has actually had issues with the law with her ex-boyfriend, Evan Peters. There was a domestic dispute between the two of them where, like, he was, like, bloody, apparently. That's all I'm saying. No charges were ever filed or pressed, whatever you want to say. And, they ended up being, like, fine. I mean, they broke up later on, but, like, they ended up, like, being fine or whatever. But because of that, she could technically win this fight as well. But I don't condone that type of stuff, so I'm going to go Aubrey. But I will say, Emma probably could put up a fight, but I'm not going to condone that type of action, okay? Elizabeth Olsen, a.k.a. Scarlet Witch, versus Margot Robbie. I'm going Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, again, she's on the Marvel set. She was in the Avengers. She would have seen the fight moves. She would have to know something, right? Okay, let's see. Is that Lindsay Sterling? Yeah, that's literally Lindsay Sterling, the woman who plays the violin, versus what's her name? She's in Stranger Things. Not Winona Ryder, and it's not like Billy Bob Thornton. It's the one that hangs out with Steve, aka Joe Keery. I don't know what her name is. I know who she is. I'm gonna pick. I don't think Lindsay Sterling's gonna win in a fight. I'm sorry. Unless she can have unless she had the violin with her, I would pick Lindsay, but she doesn't. So Lindsay Sterling, by the way, if you don't know, she's like a violinist, like a really insane violinist. Like, you could look her up. She's very good at it, but I don't know why she'd be on this list. All right, we're on to round 2 of this side of the bracket. Round 2, Brie Larson versus Emma Stone. Ooh, that's tough, man. I mean, they've both been on sets of superhero movies. Brie Larson with anything Marvel, basically, and Emma Stone with the Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield. I'm gonna go. I just feel like Emma Stone would beat Brie Larson, and I don't know why that is. But I just feel like if it came down to it, Emma Stone would just, you know what I mean, knock her out. So I'm going to go Emma Stone on that. Might be controversial. That was tough. That was very tough. Anne Hathaway versus Mila Kunis. I'm going Mila. I'm going Mila because of that Ukrainian in her. I feel like she's going to be scrappy because of that. And I don't know why. I really don't. But she grew up there for like the first 8 to 10 years of her life, I think. So I just think she would want it more than somebody like Anne Hathaway. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Mila there. All right, we have the woman who I don't know who beat Amber Heard versus Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey's going to win because I know who she is. I don't know who the woman on the left is. We have Scarlet Witch, a.k.a. Elizabeth Olsen, versus the girl, I feel like her name's Nina or something, but the girl from Stranger Things that's hanging out with Steve all the time. She's very skinny, has brown hair. I'm going Elizabeth Olsen because I actually know her name. Emma Stone versus Mila Kunis. Interesting. I don't know. I think Mila's had her run. I think Emma Stone would be her match. And I don't know why. I don't know why I think Emma Stone is just such a good fighter, but Emma Stone she seems like she would be able to defend herself well, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm getting like strong fighty vibes from her, but I just do. And so Mila, I think, loses this one to Emma Stone. Emma Stone's just bigger than her too. I don't mean that as like I'm not fat shaming Emma Stone. Emma Stone is not fat, but Emma Stone is, even having 10 pounds on somebody is an advantage in any fight. So, I mean, there's a reason why UFC and boxing has weight classes, and I don't know, it has weight classes and everything. So, Aubrey Plaza versus Elizabeth Olsen. I'm going Aubrey Plaza. I think Aubrey Plaza is somebody you don't want to mess with. She plays those characters for a reason, right? That's my thought process. She's playing those creepy, kind of weird, scary characters for a reason, and I think that's because she's somewhat like those characters. Now we have Aubrey Plaza versus Emma Stone in the almost championship round, the semifinals. I'm going to go Aubrey Plaza here. I'm going to go Aubrey. I think, like I said, there's a reason she's playing those characters. And I think that the reason is because she's like somewhat low-key like that as well. So, Aubrey, congratulations. You have moved on to the championship round. We now move to the right side of the bracket, where our first matchup is Gal Gadot, a.k.a. Wonder Woman, versus Emilia Clarke, a.k.a. Daenerys. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but from Game of Thrones. Gal Gadot is tall. And she was Wonder Woman, so I'm gonna give the edge to her because of that. Height is a huge thing in fights. I guess it could also be a disadvantage as well. But with a big height difference, she would have a longer reach, and theoretically, yes, Emilia could get like the legs and whatnot. But I think Gal Gadot would win that. But it wouldn't be easy. I think it'd be a tough fight, especially because Emilia was on Game of Thrones. So Emma Watson versus. That's Winona Ryder. Speaking of Winona. That's actually a pretty even matchup there. But the thing is, Emma Watson does have, a bit more youth on her side. Winona Ryder is not old by any means. Do not freak out when I say that. But Emma Watson is very, very young. So I feel like she'd be able to, her stamina would be better than Winona's theoretically. So I'm going to go Emma Watson just based off of a pure stamina and energy standpoint. I feel like Winona would theoretically get worn out slightly faster, and therefore giving Emma the edge in maybe one of the later rounds. All right, we have, I don't know who the girl on the right is, but the girl on the left is, I think her name is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The main girl from, she's the girl in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She's the girl with the pink hair. Ramona Flowers, that's her name in the movie. She's also been in other things, but I don't know who the woman on the right is, so we're going to go with Ramona Flowers, a.k.a. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, if that's her real name. Okay, here we have, I believe it's Daisy Ridley. She's from Star Wars. The girl who plays Rey, I think is her name in the show. Rey Skywalker, is that her name? Versus Keira Knightley. I'm going Daisy Ridley 10 times out of 10 because, first of all, she's a Jedi, I'm pretty sure. She's in Star Wars. Hello. Second, I think Keira Knightley's Keira Knightley I think is a model. She's very skinny and very small, and I just feel like not that Daisy Ridley's fat. Again, I'm not calling any of these women fat, but I just feel like Daisy really would have a strength advantage there. Next up, we have ScarJo, Scarlett Johansson versus Megan Fox. Interesting matchup. So we have Black Widow versus Megan Fox. Okay, now if we're going off of the rule that I've already put in place, Scarlett Johansson would win this. She was Black Widow. She was in Marvel movies. She, theoretically knows how to fight, knows some moves, right? She's picked some stuff up along the way of filming those. Megan Fox, though, I don't think Megan Fox would be an easy out. She's a bit weird. She's engaged to or married to MGK, and I think they're pretty weird. So if she got to do some of her witchcraft, some of her weird voodoo stuff, she could potentially win. And I also feel like she probably would fight pretty dirty, and whatnot. And I don't think a lot would phase her because she's super weird. But I'm going to give the edge to ScarJo because of the Black Widow, but I don't think, I think Megan Fox, winning this wouldn't have been a surprise. If I were to watch that fight in real life, I would not have been surprised if Megan Fox would win that. Okay, now we have two people that I don't know. Awesome. I was trying to avoid having ones that have people that I don't know, so we will move on from that one. That one just is a wash. We now have Jennifer Lawrence versus Pokimane. Pokimane is a streamer. So I'm going to go Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know why a streamer would be on. I don't consider streamers celebrities, but I guess that's just me. Okay, we have Katy Perry versus Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams is in like The Wedding Crashers, Mean Girls. I just named literally only 2 movies that she's done, but she's been in a ton of stuff. I'm not even a huge fan of Katy Perry in general, so I want to just go Rachel McAdams just based off of like, yeah, who I am a fan of more. But I need to think of I need to view it, from an unbiased perspective. And I feel like Katy Perry is like kind of tall. I don't know. Like the height thing doesn't fully matter though. I know I've already that's how Gal Gadot won, but I'm going to go Rachel McAdams. I don't have a reasoning to pick either one or the other, but I'm just going to go with Rachel McAdams. Maybe, she picked up something from the Wedding Crashers set or whatever. You know what I mean? You never know. I don't know. We're going to go Rachel McAdams. And she was a mean girl in Mean Girls, so maybe she knows how to be nasty, so that could come in handy when it comes down to fighting in the octagon. Gal Gadot versus Emma Watson. Gal Gadot. I think Gal Gadot's knocking Emma Watson out. Mary Elizabeth Winstead versus Daisy Ridley. I'm going Daisy Ridley. The only reason for Ramona Flowers is even here is because I didn't know the other person. So Daisy Ridley is moving on. Scarlett Johansson versus the woman I don't know. Scarlett Johansson wins by default. Jennifer Lawrence versus Rachel McAdams. I'm gonna go J-Law. She was in the X-Men. She was Katniss Everdeen. We gotta put some respect on her name. I'll go J-Law there. Gal Gadot versus Daisy Ridley. We got Wonder Woman versus a literal Jedi. Tough. But I just really think Gal Gadot wins most of these fights. I really do. I mean, like I said, she was Wonder Woman. She's got the height advantage. She probably has a strength advantage on most of these women too. I think Gal Gadot wins this. So I'm going to put her on Scarlett Johansson versus Jennifer Lawrence. This is a toss-up to me. I feel like you could flip a coin, and if it would make sense either way. I'm going to give the slight edge to Scarlett Johansson because of the fact that she was Black Widow, and I think she would have picked up maybe 1 or 2 moves from doing that. I know Jennifer Lawrence was in like an X-Men movie or a few, and I know she also was Katniss, but there's not any bow and arrows in the ring. It's all hand-to-hand combat. So I'm giving it to Scarlett Johansson. So now we have Wonder Woman versus Scarlett Johansson. I said Wonder Woman. Her name's Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman versus Black Widow. Gal Gadot versus Scarlett Johansson. DC versus Marvel. Oh my goodness. That being said, I'm going Gal Gadot. I'm going Gal Gadot all day, every day. If you're playing flipping Wonder Woman, man, you got to be tough. I feel like, well, you actually don't have to be, but like I said, this is all for fun. This is all silly. There's not really any actual logic or reasoning behind who I think would win in a fight. I'm just kind of going off of some random crap. So don't get offended. Don't think I'm like making fun of any of these women for being short or tall, or I'm calling any of them fat or anything like that, or skinny. I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm not being offensive to any of them, or at least not trying to be. I'm just joking around, seeing who I think would actually win a fight, and a theoretic fight. I'm gonna do the same thing with male celebrities probably next week, so it's gonna be the same thing. I probably should have started with male celebrities, but it's fine. We'll do that next week. So it's not like I don't know. I don't want it to come out like I'm being like sexist or weird or anything. It's just I thought it'd be really funny just to imagine these like really like if you put like I don't know how many people are, like 40 female celebrities into a room, and you made them fight each other. I just think it'd be funny to think about like who would come out on top and who would actually win, like, and try to make up reasons in my head, and you can make up reasons in your head why you think that they would win as well. I think that's funny. I think it's a good time. So whether our reasons are actually legit or they're just made up in our head, or they're actually just like make believe, who knows, who cares? It's still funny to me. So we're now on to the championship round. We have Aubrey Plaza versus Gal Gadot. This is actually a tough one. I've been on Gal Gadot's side because she's got the height, and I think theoretically being taller, she would also have strength because of that. But Aubrey, like I said about Aubrey earlier, she plays these dark characters, these weird characters like April Ludgate in Parks and Rec, where they're mysterious. You don't know a lot about them. Like maybe like in her free time, she's like beating people up. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like there's a reason she's always playing these types of characters, these like apathetic characters. And that's because maybe she's like really apathetic and doesn't care about a lot. And so she like would have no problem beating the crap out of somebody if she had to. That being said, I think I'm going to go with, oh man, this is so hard actually. I think I'm going to go with Aubrey Plaza. I don't think she's too much shorter than Gal Gadot, and I think she would know how to fight more, just probably the most, maybe not the most, but arguably the most out of anybody that was on this list. I feel like she would be up there. So I'm going to give the slight edge to Aubrey. Again, could be a toss-up. You could say either or. So that is the female celebrity battle royale Aubrey Plaza is the winner of the battle royale. She got the victory royale. We will do the male celebrities next week. We'll do their battle royale next week. I'm not gonna rate, like their hotness or anything either. Like I said, I think that whole thing's so stupid, and it's not something that I'm not a fan of. And like I said about this one, and I'll say it next week too probably. It's just for fun. It's just silly. My reasoning is basically all made up, and it's just stuff that I'm assuming about these celebrities. Obviously, I have no facts to support literally anything I said about any of them winning their fights, but it's all supposed to be fun and silly. So like, don't like get offended or get mad or anything if I'm saying that like this person would win and this person would lose. Because for all I know too, like some of those female celebrities like actually take like jujitsu classes, or you know what I mean. But I don't actually know that, and that had them losing to somebody who like would cry if they broke a nail. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So I just was basing it off of nothing. I thought I thought it was a really funny idea. It was actually a lot more difficult once I actually did it. I thought it was gonna be a lot easier than that, but that's totally okay. Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot easier than it actually was, but that's okay. It was kind of dumb at the end of the day, but that's okay. My podcast can be kind of dumb sometimes. I hope you guys found that funny at least kind of entertaining to like for yourself. If you knew who the celebrities were, imagine like who you think would win and what and why. Even if you disagreed with me, I would love to like I'm sure you thought of like funny and fun ways that like this person would win or this person would lose. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm actually going to end it here. I feel like we talked a good amount. Like I said, this episode's going to be a little bit shorter. I think it's going to be shorter. For all I know, it's still going to be like an hour long. But I really appreciate you guys being here. And again, sorry that my guest isn't here, but it's totally okay. Not mad at him at all. I'm super excited for him to come on in the future. That's going to be a freaking absolute heater of an episode. So you guys need to be like anticipating that. I will see you guys next week. Again, it'll be just me again, but I'll see you guys next week where we rank male celebrities on who we think would win in a fight. So we'll do the male battle royale. So I'll give you the little preview on the rank up for next week, so you have an idea of what to look forward to. Again, follow the TikTok. I will be uploading there more. Hopefully starting this week. So I'll be uploading there more. It's at Frivolous Pod on TikTok. It'll be linked below, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube. It'll be linked below. And then also, if you're just listening and you want to subscribe to the YouTube, you can subscribe to the YouTube. It's the Frivolous Podcast. That's also linked below you. You can see the video version of it. You can see behind the scenes, hopefully at some point in the future. And anything else you guys may want to see from me, you can comment that on anything. If there's anything you want to see on that channel, if you want to see me do reaction stuff, if you want to see, I don't even know what else you'd want to see, but like I could start doing reactions to funny stuff on there or whatever. So I don't know. Also, if you're interested at all in watching me stream, comment down below or something, and I won't message you, but I'll tell you guys like what my oh my gosh username is on Twitch and whatnot, so you guys could watch me if you guys are even interested in that. If you're not, I'm not going to be offended, but I know I brought it up, and I feel like I should maybe acknowledge it a little bit. So if anybody is interested, just like comment, let me know. I can give you not the link, but I'll give you the name of it, and then you can find the channel and whatnot. It's just, again, all of this is just for fun. It's not for money. So like this streaming, anything I'm doing, it's just for fun. It's not for money. And it's just, I like being creative. I like making content. It's a good way for my brain to kind of get the creative juices flowing and whatnot. So that's why I'm doing it. I just to keep my creative juices flowing and to kind of like expand my way of thinking, kind of make myself a little bit uncomfortable by putting myself out there. I need to go. As you just heard, I have the sniffles because I sneezed twice like 3 minutes ago. So my allergies are acting back up. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it every week. We're 11 weeks into this bad boy, so that's crazy, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope you guys enjoy your summer. Since it's almost officially summer, it's officially summer for me, but summer solstice doesn't technically start, until June 21st or whatever. So I hope you guys enjoy your summer. I hope you guys have a lot of fun things planned. I know I don't have a lot of stuff planned, but I'm still looking forward to it. And I'm wishing you guys good mental health, and I will see you in a week. Bye.